What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition add-on download. Today we have the Moon add-on, where I tried to recreate the April Fool's update from Java and give it to Bedrock players. For this, we did create almost everything from Java into Bedrock, but I added a few of my own things and kind of like made it unique to Bedrock. So let's go ahead and explain some of the stuff and get into the Moon, and I'll show you guys how to do everything. So first off, you're going to need to give yourself some glass bottles. You could craft these glass bottles, and you'll come into the crafting table, and you could place these in any order that you want, and you'll give yourself a air bottle. Once you have an air bottle, you're going to need any air bottle and any glass, and this will create the Moon helmet. So when you're in here, you just take your air bottle and any glass, and it doesn't matter about the crafting recipes on any of these as long as they're both in there in the crafting table. So you'll get yourself a Moon helmet, and then you can equip the Moon helmet like so. Once you have the Moon helmet on, it does have this little pretty cool looking 3D glass like the Java edition, and it does restore hunger when you're in the Moon. So we changed the suffocation to hunger, and I'll show that in just a minute. So the last one that I went ahead and added was giving yourself a air bottle, and it will give you a rover. So you need a minecart and some air. So you could take these two glass bottles and put them anywhere. Take air and a minecart and create a rover, and then you could spawn in this rover like so, and you could drive it around. It has its own little inventory as well, which is pretty cool. And then you can access the inventory just by sneaking and clicking. And anybody could drive it. You don't have to tame or do anything like that. And you can kill stuff. So you can see that it just kind of kills this sheep whenever you run over it. It's pretty neat. I like it. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to the Moon. So what I have here, I'm going to take this rover to the Moon with me. I'm going to take these air bottles. So you're going to need to find yourself a cow anywhere in the world. So I'm just going to spawn one in, and we're going to go ahead and give it an air bottle. Oops, give it an air bottle. So it will kind of create the particle just like in Java, but for this, I make it where it dies pretty quickly if nobody's on it. So it's going to die to reduce lag to where if a bunch of people are just clicking air bottles on cows or whatever. You'll summon in a cow, and then you just give yourself an air bottle, and it'll spawn in like that, and you just click on it, and it'll take you to the Moon. So this is very important, guys. You do not want to move until it is fully loaded. So this will work on like phones and stuff. I will have two versions, one for really low end phones and for consoles and pretty good phones and computers, which is this one. So there's a slight lag while it loads in 2 million blocks, because that's how much is trying to load in at this. So as you guys can see, whenever you load in, you get this really cool particle for the Moon. And I do have the Java edition in the files if you don't want this one and you want to put the Java one. I wanted Bedrock to have its own version. And then we have the Moon rover, which I created a new block, which all you have to do for this is just click it instead of jumping on it like in Java, and it will spawn in the structure. So I'm just going to run over here. I'm actually going to go, oh, and you can see that my hunger is going down. So I'm going to go ahead and equip my Moon helmet. Oh, there's a zombie. So I'm just going to go to. So the hunger is what happens on the Moon. And the reason for that is because you can eat the air bottles and it restores hunger. And you can eat the cheese blocks, which is all over the Moon here, and that restores hunger. So it kind of, instead of suffocation from the bubbles, I went ahead and did hunger. You do get Moon supply crates, and they're filled with random stuff. Every time you play the game, it's filled with random just stuff like so. I did recreate kind of how the structure looked, and I recreated these little copper spleef looking thingies, and they do create the pop sound, and they break when you stand on them, just like in Java. Created the Moon cow, which has the helmet, and I added some zombies as well. So this terrain will spawn up. It's pretty neat. It does have caves and ores down below, so you can dig down and you could see that there's some ores and caves and stuff. I went ahead and added something that wasn't in the Java version, which is meteor impacts or like collisions. So just randomly, you will see a particle. Yeah, there it goes. So there's a collision right there. which you didn't get to see it, but you could tell from the blocks getting impacted like that. It does create a little particle that shows like something impacted the earth. And then the most important thing is getting back from the moon to the earth. So let's go ahead and check that out. So you take an air bottle on the moon, on these moon cows here, click them, and they will turn into these cows, and then you just ride them. Once you do that, you could go back to the actual world here. And I do have it to where you could go to the end. So I'm just going to set block 3 end portal. So if you want to go to the end without going to the moon, you could just go in any other way besides on top of a cow flying up in the air. So we're just going to go here, and it'll take us back to the regular whatever seed it is for the end dragon here, and you can, you know, fight the end dragon and do whatever. So I'm just gonna do another one like so and just leave. And if you want to go back to the moon instead of go right there, we'll just summon in another cow, give it an air bottle, go back to the moon, and everything will stay the same. So it's gonna just do loading moon, and it'll put us back into the moon. So this will be able, you could go back and forth from the end to the moon using the space. So everything's still here. The structure's still here. The mobs are still here. Whatever you had and killed is still here. Everything's working. Does work in multiplayer as well. So that's pretty neat. And you can just travel back and forth. There are a few bugs, but I'm going to try and work on those as well. Though there's that impact. But yeah, if you guys like this, leave a comment on some bugs or issues you might be having. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to see any more of the snapshot from April Fool's on Java Edition into Bedrock Edition. I'll try and recreate it, and I'll make a video trying to showcase like the behind the scenes devlogs of how I made this and the kind of methods I used and stuff like that. If you're interested in that, I'll try and make a video on that as well. I'm dakonblackrose, and I'll see you in the next one.
My father told me when I was young, don't play with fire, be careful, son. But we were flames and fell in love.